So we're talking about the Blighted Village, and at first it can seem fairly straightforward, but I think there are a few subtle nuances that need to be talked about, especially if you're on honor mode. First of all, if you go directly into the Blighted Village as the game would kind of lead you to normally, you'll encounter what would be an ambush with goblins on top of the roofs, and if you don't pass a speech check, they will just immediately attack you, and that positioning is terrible. It's going to put you in a very bad position if you have to fight, and you're also right next to a fire wine barrel, which is just, it's a terrible start. You don't want that, so instead we're going to go around, we're going to go through the south side of the village, as you can see here, and I'm just going to pick off the goblin patrols and the guards that are just standing by. These fights aren't hard, just attacking them straight up in small numbers, and then once we get to the encounter on the roof, that's when things start to get a little spicy. So my plan in theory was to hide on one side of this house, sneak up on these goblins, kill them, and then lead the other ones over, kill them as they're trying to reach me, and then if there are any left that refuse to move because their AI gets a little wonky, I'll just retreat and reappear on the other side and just sneak up on and kill the rest. In theory, that sounds good, and I've had that work before, but in this video I'm actually either unlucky or just bad. One problem with this strat I've seen is that the AI can really manipulate the terrain, whereas you cannot. The pathing is really weird, especially if you're a large creature like a bear, and they'll shoot in between tiny holes in the wall that you would never be able to take advantage of. And I really hate that in this game, but it's something you just have to live with. And in this case, the goblins definitely will. Really, you don't have to kill these goblins or any of them, but we need all the XP we can get, so we're just going to take the easy pickings when we can. It should be noted also that if you try and sneak up on either side of the goblins on either building, it will immediately initiate combat. You will not even get the dialogue option, and I've had that happen before. So it's something to watch out for, as well as the goblins by the windmill. Same thing, if you try to go any other way except the direct path, they'll just immediately consider you hostile and start attacking. Ignore my terrible gameplay here, I'm just going to cut all that out, and you'll see that eventually we'll get through all of these goblins, and we will only have one left, and then we'll take him out, and then we'll move on to the rest of the Blighted Village. One final note that I wanted to make is that the reason the goblins are so dangerous in the first place is because they have the Fury of the Small passive, which means that they're doing an extra d6 to anything larger than them, which will be pretty much any character you just decide to make, unless it's a gnome or a, what did I say, hobbit, halfling. This only appears on tactician or higher difficulty, so if you've never seen it before, that would be why. And that's what makes the early game so much more difficult than it needs to be, but eventually we'll overcome that, and we'll move on to the rest of the village, like I said. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.